now I think the product discovery route might be that if you need a product, you might already go directly to the brand's website, or then you just simply Google it. And if you think about Googling stuff, you usually have websites as results, the online stores, but you also see those product cards there on the top. Now, AI-driven discovery is kind of, instead of going to Google, you might go to, ChatGPT. So you go to a chat client where you go and have a discussion around that. Hey, I might I want to buy a iPhone. Where might I find that? Or maybe you have a more specific need, like in recommerce, that I'm looking for an old Jimi Hendrix vinyl from this and this era and this condition. So what happens there is that instead of you searching for like an endpoint, like a appropriate website, you are kind of hiring an AI agent to do the search for you. And I think that's a big change in the product discovery process. So you will rather have a discussion with an AI agent that then goes out and tries to find that product for you from different endpoints like websites and so on. For majority of the smaller stores, I think it's going to be a necessity to make sure that your catalog and your availability of your inventory is constantly available, not only in your own online store, so people will not find your online store and start browsing, but rather to be kind of indexed on an individual product level. Kind of the same as with Google now, you have the product cards there on the top of the search results. In the same way, I'd say kind of imagining that the AI agents actually go to that product card level, kind of that these are the things that they would be purchasing and maybe showcasing to you inside ChatGPT or similar. So I would say that for those smaller merchants, it becomes a necessity to have a software that allows you to index your catalog and inventory in real time to be discoverable by AI agents, not only your website.
How do you see that being different between like linear sales where you are selling or buying new items that should be like identical no matter where you buy them, but then on the resales, recommerce side where every item is unique, how do you see like the AI affecting this process? Because in many of the resale stores, for example, the camera store that sells the used old vintage cameras and so on, I think, for example, the pictures and all of those are like super important though. So do you see that the AIs are going to be experts in all of these areas and they can say like, hey, maybe in that picture there is something that even human cannot see. So is it going to be like a better or worse experience? Or at least now I think it's mostly relying on like text input from the website. So I'm not sure if it's actually analyzing all the images on websites at the moment, but probably in the future.
Yeah, I think there's multiple aspects to that. So first of all, I think it's probably important that when you have a website, or it's not necessary always that the agents would access the catalog by crawling your website and going through that. They might access it via like MCP layer or kind of getting even better access to the catalog rather than kind of scraping your website. In that context, things like images become a thing that like, have you made your images to be such that they can be analyzed by AI, which essentially would be like Vision API, AI Vision, and well, for example, Vision API by OpenAI. Can you kind of go through that and analyze what do I see there? Or then at minimum providing kind of already on a catalog level or article level, if you have images, being able to provide like a AI agent friendly description of the image. So not saying that it's an iPhone X, but actually describing a lot better, like that it's an iPhone X with a slight scratch on the screen on the bottom right or something like that. Now, in the context of recommerce, like you said, in linear commerce, if you're buying new stuff, all of those are comparable. So once you've found it somewhere, you can just basically do price comparison and maybe shipping speed, and that's it. It's the same product. in re-commerce, I think the role of the agent can become a lot more valuable. So it's kind of helping you by saying that, okay, I found 3 of these phones. All of them are a bit different. One of them have scratches on the glass. One of them has maybe reduced battery life, and one of them is wrong color but pristine condition. So which one would you prefer? Here's the images, here's the links, and so on. So it's a lot more concierge-driven relationship that you have with the agent, because again, you're hunting for that perfect resale find or secondhand find, and if you would do that manually in terms of active buying, you would spend a lot of your buying time just finding the products and analyzing it, whereas an agent can remove a lot of time, a lot of friction from that purchasing experience, and just offer you the kind of final details like concierge, like here's the 3 things and all of them have pros and cons, and which one would you prefer, if any. So I see that agent purchasing will become even more important for re-commerce than maybe your linear commerce, where it's more around discovery and price. In re-commerce, it's everything like preferences and small details.